Boy, that music just ran right out, didn't it, Party Foul Steve? Wow, just poof, there it was. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Welcome to a Tuesday afternoon, the Chad Prather Show. I hope you guys are doing well. You doing well? Talk to me, Goose. Let me know you guys are out there. Jump in the chat. Let me check on you guys real quick. Make sure there's a pulse, there's breath. Let me put a mirror under your nose and see if you guys are there. I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but men are designed to not talk that much. Like I talk a lot for a dude, and for a dude from the South, I talk really fast. And for me these days, I'm talking way more than I normally do, more than I should. So doing a morning show and then doing the afternoon show and then doing various little things along the way for social media. And then tomorrow, and then on Thursday, I'll be hosting Dinesh D'Souza's podcast. So, man, y'all need to send me some topics of things to talk about. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Dinesh D'Souza's podcast. I love Dinesh, man. He's so matter of fact. I mean, he's just got that demeanor, not the most humorous guy. He's definitely not silly. Pretty serious cat. And so whenever he and I are around one another, it's like, okay, got to handle this dude a certain way. But no, he's a good sport, man, and I appreciate his friendship. And he and his wife Debbie, they reached out to me a number of weeks ago and asked if I would fill in for him some in both April and May, and I'm going to do that. So you just don't say no when Dinesh D'Souza calls. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to take a little sip of this coffee, see if I can undry my throat. Have you guys been paying attention to the world that's going on around you? I mean, outside of politics. There's a lot of stuff that's happening out there. And I have actually had to take a little bit of a step back from just the vitriol and the nastiness and the gross stuff that's out there. Because we've gone from telling the news to talking about everybody wanting to bring each other down. It's one thing, and just insanity on parade, which is crazy. And I don't know if you guys have taken the time to sort of do a little bit of a mental health check with yourself. I know some of you don't like it when I talk about that kind of stuff, but I also don't really care. I want to make sure that you guys are taking that deep breath and you're looking at it and from a perspective of common sense and stuff. I am just over people's foolishness at this stage in the game. And I just keep encouraging everybody out there, man, stand your ground. Good days are coming. And even if they don't come, you're good people. And that's what matters. Good people is going to create those good days. So stay strong out there, folks. Stay strong. Phone is blowing up. I don't know why my people who call themselves my friends, they don't realize when I go live. They all know I go live, and they think I'm sitting here checking my text messages when they send me those deals. I want to talk to you guys because we got a special guest that's going to come on here in just a little while. But before we move forward to that, there's a couple of stories I want to get into. So let me just do a little bookkeeping here with you guys. First of all, this week I'm in Hays, Kansas. That's Friday night. And I'm in Sharon Springs Saturday night. That's also in Kansas. Sharon Springs sold out, been sold out. Hays, Kansas, I think, still has some tickets. So go to watchchad.com. I discovered today that my website was down. Apparently, you have to pay the bill on the web hosting deal, and my card had expired, so there was that. And then next week, we'll be at the table at Madeley, which is Conroe, Texas. Nice little quaint venue with a nice stage out there, and the Texas legend Steve Helms and Bobcat Ben McPherson, my fiddle player, going to be there with us. The Ragamuffins is what we go by. We're going to be out there doing a show. And then the following night, we're going to be up in Arlington, Texas. I have not pushed either of those shows. I think there might be 7 tickets sold total. I should probably do something about that. So if you're anywhere in those areas, come hang out with us. It's always a fun show. It's a lively little bunch, and we have a good time. But I want to tell you about my friends over at Allied Oilfield, alliedoilfield.com. I was looking at their website a little while ago. Man, there's some big equipment that goes into Drill Baby Drill, but we are getting back to Drill Baby Drill, and Allied Oilfield are the folks that put the equipment together to make sure that happens. That big old boost in our economy is going to happen. They're over in Levelland, Texas, and they have been an industry leader for well over 20 years. So people go to them and they say, listen, I got this concept. I want to build out this rig. And they figure out a way to do it. And they've got a lot of stuff because they've been innovators in oil field equipment for a long, long time. They actually created a lot of the products that, not problems, products that are standard in the oil field industry. And they have done a fantastic job of maintaining a high quality of standard as well as being dependable in that industry. So check them out over at AlliedOilfield.com. Maybe you want to go over there and drop $250,000 and buy you a pump truck. I don't even know what those things cost, but woo. Well, you know what I need to do? Let me bring Party Foul Steve on here. Yep, there he is.
And the dogs go crazy.
The dogs go crazy. Daisy's sitting over here on the ground. Daisy just looked up. Daisy's too old to go crazy. I got 3 dogs sitting at my feet. Daisy she's looking at the door right now. She's convinced somebody's going to be there.
Yeah, at least nobody's barking in the house today because you got a house full of dogs today. They're
if
everywhere.
they do, man.
Let me touch back real quick on something you said right there at the beginning. You talk about, men aren't designed to talk that much and all the talking and stuff that you've been doing and stuff, but you don't listen either. I mean, no, let me, I don't know how to word it,
man.
Yeah, I mean, you hear me, but you ain't listening. Sometimes I have to ask you something like over and over before I finally get an answer. And I don't know if you're just thinking about it for a really long time.
What do you think that you have said that I have not listened to?
No, because every time I do that, you'll say, "Yeah, I heard you," and then I'll be like, "Well, why didn't you give me a response?" I heard you,
but I mean, if I'm not listening to you, that's a fair point. I'm mature enough to be able to take a reprimand or rebuke if I must.
Most of the time, I need a response, though. Usually, I don't.
But you talk.
And speaking of your email server and stuff, how many? I probably have thousands of emails that went unrecognized.
So you're saying that what you would like for me to do is give you a new Watch Chad email account, which we discussed, and we're trying to decide, and I'd love to see in the chat if you think Steve, it used to be Steve at watchchad.com. Should it be PFS at watchchad.com? Should it be partyfoul at watchchad.com? Should it be partyfoulsteve at watchchad.com? I'd love to get your opinion. That's a long email address, by the way. I don't like long email addresses.
I'll keep my mouth shut and I'll stay out of it. Let them pick it.
Let's see what they say. I don't, should it be PF Steve?
Yeah. No, I don't like that too much.
You got to say them out loud. You got to look at them. Sometimes you got to type. This is important stuff in the 21st century.
Partyfoul Steve at watchchad. Not long. I have other email addresses that
a lot of letters, man,
just as long.
Like my spam email address, the one that I put for signing up for things where I just know I'm never going to check those emails, is chadprather22 at yahoo.com. I have young people that work for me who laugh at me because I still have a Yahoo. Well, I mean, it's already full. I got 12,000 unanswered emails right there looking at me right now, and that's the number that'll show me. Amjad. So the young people that work for me, they always laugh because I have a Yahoo address. I'm like, I don't use it. I don't use it.
What's that other one that people have sometimes, and I'll see it? It's the
AOL.
What's older than AOL. You see that, and you go, what?
I have someone that works for my CPA who handles my books. She still has an AOL address, which should make me have a cause for concern. If that's,
she's doing your taxes
really?
with a pencil, number
with
2
an
pencil.
abacus and a piece of slate. So I woke up this morning about 4:00, which is what I do. And, it was funny. Brianna Morello put on Twitter today on X that she said all the successful people she knows gets up at 4. So she said she's following suit. I texted her. I said, but what are you doing? She goes, I don't know, but I'm up. So I have an AOL account as well. But I don't use it. That was my first email address ever. Now, the mother of my children, I think she still uses her AOL account.
Yeah, I don't know what my first one ever was, but I've had my personal one I've had since Gmail came out anyway.
Yeah. Do you even remember what AOL stands for?
America Online.
There you go, dude. See, It makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's the old dial-up days.
Dial-up. And I remember back when computers, like the biggest computer I ever had had 3 gig in it. Like I got a thing and had like 3 gig of memory in it. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean,
I am still so ignorant. I don't know what even a gig means or a terabyte. I know the words, but I don't know what they mean.
Well,
So
well, a
we've been
gigabyte
computer
is
shopping.
going to be 1,000 megabyte, and a terabyte is going to be 1,000 gigabyte. Okay,
That's a little pile of
And-
ants. That's a big pile of ants.
yeah, and a megabyte is going to be 1,000 bytes. So we're old, but you know what? We drink out of the water hose, and we got beat by the dog collar sometimes with the dog still in it. That's okay, man. We made us better people. All right. We came home when the street lamps came on, and I didn't have street lamps, but we did have those little government issued deals at the top of the pole somewhere deep in the woods, and those lights came on. I don't even know why they put lights out there in the middle of the woods. Speaking of tough and strong and all this kind of stuff. Have you seen how many home runs the New York Yankees have hit so
Dude.
far this season? They are crushing it.
This is kind of. I think this goes against everything. You know, the what would you call somebody that's like really baseball for historians?
Yeah,
and
just people that
the-
are purists, baseball purists.
Yeah, purists, baseball purists. This goes
Yeah.
against everything that's pure about baseball. It's
Why?
because of the baseball bats. I know their quotes still in regulation. They call it the torpedo bat,
Yeah.
and to the look of it, they just shaved the tip of the bat.
So
they
it
kind of
looks like
sharpened it.
for those of you who aren't baseball fans, you haven't been paying attention to this stuff. So the Yankees won the first game of the season like 20-0. Like they hit
Nine homers.
9 home runs. I mean, there was a home run in every freaking inning. I mean, they were crushing it. And so it looks like sort of it sort of looks like an old-timey bat. You know, my mother was an antique dealer. Every now and then she would come home with these. She'd have baseball bats that were from the teens and the 20s, and they kind of looked like this. But what they did was they took the end of the bat and they brought the meat of the barrel further down, so there's more wood in the center. So they just squinched it up, sort of like an upside-down bowling pin in a way. And this was created by one of their coaches, which is interesting. Aaron, what's his name? Aaron Lenhart. Now, this guy was a physics professor at the University of Michigan, and he was like this Nobel Prize winner, literally a Nobel Prize winner, and he just decided that he loved baseball and he wanted to go coach baseball, and so he started doing that at the collegiate level, but he was a physics professor, so he created this bat. And they started using, they didn't tell anybody that this bat was coming. They just came out and started using these freaky bats. And they're dropping bombs, dude.
Now we're going to have to see how this plays out, because this could be a psychological thing as much as it is a physical thing with the bats. Because, just like baseball players, they have their superstitions. They don't change their socks. They don't change their underwear. They don't shave. They don't, whatever their thing is, this could be just that new psychological.
I'll tell you this. Hitting 500-foot bombs every inning, that ain't psychological. Not when you got second baseman going yard. I mean, these dudes are killing it.
I just hope Yordan Alvarez has one on the way.
Now, here's the problem with that. So this is why I bring this up, because this is an interesting thing. This bat created by this physics guy, this physicist, he created this thing. They didn't tell anybody. The league had to approve them, so they started using them, and then the league took a look at them and said, okay, well, they fit the specifications. Here's the problem. They have the patent on the bat. This physics guy has the patent on the bat. It was his science. He created it. So not just anybody can go out there and replicate his bat. Now, you can't put a patent on a shape, right? But he's got a patent on the bat. Now, here's the other thing. They got approval from the league to use them. So if other people start having them manufactured, well, how long is it going to take for them to get the bat manufactured? And then once they get it manufactured, how long is it going to get before they get the league's written approval? So the Yankees could literally be at the All-Star break by the time the rest of the league gets their hands on these bats and can use them in a game.
I have a feeling, though, because everybody likes to make money, he's going to get start making those so he can sell them.
Yeah,
so whatever company he's working with,
but
sell
he's on. But here's the problem: why would he do that? He's on the coaching staff of the New York Yankees.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to hold out like that. Because
bro,
that would put,
are you
that would
serious?
That would put a
No way,
stain.
bro.
You want to put a stain that big on the Yankees? That would be
ain't
if you were
cheating.
holding you're holding out from others to be able to compete.
They don't care
If it's given an edge, if they think it's given an edge.
Come on. They want to win every game 20-0.
Yeah, I know they do, but that's ethics come into it.
No, it's not.
Oh, all right.
But now Alec Boehm with the Philadelphia Phillies, he used a torpedo bat in the home opener. So I don't know. They're not using them yet. He did use one in the home opener, but we'll see if the Phillies will start using the deal. Apparently they've got access to one of those things. I mean, it wasn't a secret science, but it's out there. I mean, so what you're saying is money talks. I don't know.
Money
man.
always talks.
I guarantee you the New York Yankees can pay that dude enough money to keep the patent on that bat. But again, you can't patent a shape. They could create it. Somebody else can. Now that they've seen it, they could come up with it. But it's freaky. Here's a deal we touched on yesterday, and I want to get into it because it's relevant to something that we've got going on here on today's show. The Democrats they've started to prove that the Democrats have given millions of illegal Social Security numbers. Gave the Social Security numbers to illegals, okay? Here's the thing. We're seeing that there's a lot of stuff that's going on when it comes to this. Democrats did give millions of illegal Social Security numbers. I said this on my show a year ago, and people called me crazy because I got a source from somebody who was working down at the border. There was a lady who was working down there, and she was basically a whistleblower who said, I had to quit the job because I, in good conscience, could not continue doing what I was doing because every time somebody would come across the border, it was her job to basically fill in the blanks and write them up, give them a Social Security number, give them a voter ID.
I think it automatically, when they put certain information in the system, it automatically generated them Social Security numbers.
No, it's like Tony was talking about on the show yesterday morning. He was talking about how when you get down to the brass tacks of the whole thing, you got people who can go out there and make up numbers to get an E-Verify or an I-9. The bottom line is there's no accountability here, and nobody knows what anybody's doing at this stage in the game. Scroll back up, Mr. Producer, off the video. You know what? Let's just go ahead and play that clip right quick. And play that clip because that's a long deal. But let's play what they said right there.
You'll notice there's a strange trend here, where how many Social Security numbers were issued. Do you want to?
Yeah. So let me tell you what happened here. We started at the top of the system.
You want to talk about a lot of it?
We started at the top of the system, mapping the whole system of Social Security to understand where all the fraud was. And there's a lot of great people there that showed us really a lot of waste. And so that came up with a big list of stuff they're working on. You've heard some of that already. But this is what jumped out at us. When we saw these numbers, we were like, what is this? In 21, you see 270,000 people, goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24. These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
Yeah, this is a mind-blowing chart.
Yeah.
So what that's saying is there was a jump during the Biden administration. And so Elon Musk came out and said, someone's going to get arrested tomorrow. He actually stole 400,000 Social Security numbers and personal information from the Social Security database and was selling Social Security numbers in order for people to basically steal money from Social Security. Steve, did you steal Social Security numbers?
No, but you think about it, in a prior administration, that was a perfect crime because they're not going to look into it.
Right. And if you can rig elections.
They were getting away with it.
If
you still have your Social Security card? Your original Social Security
card? Yeah, I've got it.
Did you laminate yours?
No.
Mine's laminated.
Of course it
I'll
is.
just
You're
show
a nerd.
the back of it. I'm not going to. But if the front's
Why don't you hold it up
laminated,
there for the world to see, Steve? You still
That's
got
the
it.
back of it. You can't see it.
Flip it around. Let's read the number.
No,
I mean, it should
I
be
don't
that
think you
easy.
can do any.
Do you think people don't already have your Social Security number?
I'm sure it's all over the place. But man, why did they tell you? You get your Social Security. They give it to you. Keep that number safe. All that kind of stuff. Then you carry your thing around. And then the paper fades. You can't see it anymore. It's made out of toilet paper. It's like it's trash. You got to memorize that number. I can remember that was like I had my Social Security number memorized before I ever had a driver's license. And my dad's like, "You got to memorize it. Memorize it. You're gonna man. That's
My dad did the exact same thing. I think that was part of that same generation. My dad, you got to memorize it. You're going to lose that card. I think when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I did indeed have to get a new card. And because something happened to that one, but you know,
I did too. I lost one we were fishing or something. I lost my whole wallet. I probably lost my wallet 7 times before I was 15.
Steve, you know, you're funny because if somebody sends me a weird text message or I can tell it's a scam type deal coming in through text or something. And I'll say to you, do you have this number in your phone? Because a couple of years ago, I did an update on my iPhone. I lost every email, every calendar deal. I lost every phone number. And I still have people that I haven't heard from in a couple of years who'll text me. And I don't have their number anymore because I've lost my contacts. And so I will ask you, and you're like, oh, I'll tell you whose it is. And you do. You literally are able to tell me really quick whose phone number that is.
A lot of times I got a couple of databases that, I mean, they're out there. They're free to the public. That you can run them through, pull up people's address, phone numbers, that kind of thing. It's kind of relatively easy. I did it to myself. I did it to you, and I was impressed because I couldn't find your address. Yeah, I couldn't find a address in the last 10 or 15 years on you.
That's right. You know why? I use Patriot Protect. Brother, I use Patriot Protect. Ain't no joke, son.
Look at that segue.
I want to be hidden, Daddy. Listen, let me tell you something. When everybody was getting swatted a couple of weeks ago, I was like, people were like, the sheriff calls me and he goes, listen, I've got your address. Because I'm friends with the sheriff here. I'm friends with the last sheriff. I'm friends with the current sheriff. I'm buddies with both of them until I see which one gets elected, right? And so I'm buddies with the sheriff. And he said, listen, I know people are getting swatted. We got you earmarked in the 911 system. If anything happens, I said, brother, they ain't going to swat me. They can't find me. They can't find me. So I wasn't worried about the whole thing because I'm telling you, I use Patriot Protect. And lo and behold, our buddy Skip Holst is here from Patriot Protect.
Oh.
Hey. What's up, Skip?
Am I coming in clear on the 1s and 2s there?
Yeah, you are, man. You're doing good. Everything's good enough for this show, brother. We just make it up as we go. Look at him. He's sitting over there stealthy in the dark, too, man. Just kind of.
Well, it was good. I went down to Party City, and I said, look, make me look like a cybersecurity expert, and here we did. That's what they came up with.
This feels like something on 60 Minutes, man. Somebody that doesn't want to be found. I am a customer of Patriot Protect, and I encourage everybody to go and be a part of the Patriot Protect family. It's patriot-protect.com. Scammers have gotten sophisticated. I mean, it is hard to hide anything. I mean, anybody, if you want to find them, it seems like you can figure out a way to do it. I mean, if Party Foul Steve can do it, just about anybody should be able to find somebody else. Tell me about where you guys started. And why?
Oh, yeah.
What's the mission? And why you do what you do? Look,
we've been at this a long time. Been at this, collectively probably about 40 years or something like that. And we got into it because we recognize, like you as patriots, that we believe in liberty, we believe in privacy, we believe in our our self-determination to make sure that we can be who we want to be without having somebody steal our information and weaponize it against us. That was, 20 years ago when we got into this and we thought that it was something that was important. People think that these scammers are sitting around using bows and arrows. They've already moved on to gunpowder. I mean, you think about how China is using, deep seek technology, using AI. When you get one of those phone calls from some random number and you think it's random because you figure, oh, they're just going through some database and calling and seeing whatever, moron picks up the phone and starts talking. They're taking your voice sample saying, hello, who's there, copying it using AI, and they can use it to call your bank. These scammers are out there to steal your nest egg, and they know exactly how to do it. So, obviously it doesn't take much for us to get fired up thinking about this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I can remember years and years ago, when I used to hear Rush Limbaugh talking about, identity protection and all of this kind of stuff and stealing your identity. And I can remember my mother, she's barking at my dad. You need to do this. You need to do this. Rush says we need to do this. And I thought, pretty dadgum good idea. I mean, people are out there they're stealing your bank account numbers and all of these things. You should probably be like, to this day, my mother, she got hit by Hurricane Helene. And they were filing forms with FEMA. My mother didn't want to do it. She's like, I don't want them to get my social security number. I was like, Mom, they're the ones that gave it to you. They're like,
Yes.
they created the number, Mom. I think you're probably going to be in good hands in this situation. But she's never. I've still got a sister-in-law. She doesn't want to buy anything online. She doesn't want to put her credit card number or debit card number out there. How real are those fears versus how sophisticated the things we should be scared of today?
The credit card fraud, the stuff, putting your information, buying stuff online, it's the tip of the iceberg of what is actually the actual threat, which is all of this information, exactly as Steve was talking about, which is that you know how to do this. You go online, you Google your name and address, and I dare everybody, that's got the stones to do it, to try it and see what's out there on yourself, because it is scary to see, how much information is out there. There are hundreds of public databases that are on for anybody to see, and this is exactly what the scammers weaponize, which has your name, email address, home address, families' names, dead relatives' names, their ages, phone numbers, every piece of information that they have out there. And it's there because the companies that publish it turn it for a profit, for clicks and all that sort of stuff. And then there's some back end stuff that happens with these scammers. But what the scammers do is they case you, right? They don't kick in random doors looking for something to see what they've got, to see what you've got in there. They know what you have based off of the demographics and the identity that they build up about you. And so the question that we had for ourselves was, you wouldn't give the scammer keys to your house. Right. So why are you giving them a treasure map to your home? You have to cut it off at the root. You have to stop this information from being out there on you.
Where was I? It was just this morning. I know what it was. It was so, I'll have something like when I'm going to Zelle money out of my bank account, or I have someone that wants me to wire transfer something, and they'll say, "Are you sure this is not a scammer?" And they'll do it 2 or 3 times to double check. I mean, the security features on a lot of these things, we got to send you another code. It's going to come to your deal. Don't copy and paste this code. Never save this code. Are we safe with the measures that are out there now with that stuff? Because the AI and the tracking devices that are out there, that's what scares me. I know everybody sort of looks at it, Skip, and they're like, that only happens to other people, But just a couple of weeks ago, and it's annoying. Somebody was trying to run $1 deals on my debit card at a Redbox. I didn't even know people still rented DVDs at a Redbox.
I remember you said something about that.
But that's what they do, right? They try to, and then you go, well, I'm not at a Redbox, and I wouldn't be at a Redbox. I think they try to run your card on these little small deals to see if it can go through, and then it sort of gives it a verification or something like that. How does that? I mean,
that's exactly right. There's a million different ways to do it. You ever had one where you get the same code or the same prompt over and over and over that's saying someone's trying to access your account. Someone's trying to access your account. Yeah. It comes like 10, 11 times in a row. What the scammer is doing is they have your they already have your password, which we could talk about in a sec. They already have your password, so they get into that, get to the 2-factor authentication, and then just spam your phone, hoping that you'll just say yes, I accept, to just stop it from happening. Then they're in. That's exactly why we launched this year our blackout product for you to go in and we will tell you what your email address or your phone number has been exposed on the dark web, and when it's happened, how long you've been exposed, and what you can do about it, to tell you how to combat that, because this information is out there. Yeah. I mean, between the phishing scams, the repeated annoyance scams, there's no end to it. And so the question is, if you've never used a service like this before, you're letting 24 hours of exposure go by, then 48 hours of exposure, then 72 hours of exposure. years upon years. And the question you have to ask yourself is, how long are you willing to let yourself be exposed? Because, the question is, hey, okay, maybe I've heard of it happening to somebody else, but, maybe it won't happen to me.
Yeah.
The statistics show that it will.
There's so many people that I know of that it's happened to. We several years ago, probably about 8 or 9 years ago, we checked into a hotel, and the next thing you know, I got a Best Buy charge in Ohio on a credit card. I remember that. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was stolen or something like that. Then I had another incident when we were at the Blaze, where some restaurant we had never been to over in that area charged a bunch of food, and I've never eaten there. Of course,
Joe and Charlie's soul food.
The
Steve
bank
had never been there.
Yeah, the bank covered those. However, if it would have been 99 cents, I'd have probably thought, yeah, maybe one of the kids or something on, because they're buy stuff on Apple. And 99 cents or $1, you don't think much about. You go look at it for a minute, but if they're doing that 1 million times a day across the world, they're making bank off a little bit at a time.
Totally. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of times where we've looked at our bank statements and said, I have no recollection of ordering 7 Jack and Diet Cokes at that restaurant.
Wait a minute, Skip.
Hang on. Lo and behold, whom amongst us hasn't been in that situation? But that's, the reality. And I'm watching the people in the chat talking about, like, I got scammed, and it's true. It's just, the question is not a matter of it's not a matter of when, but it's a matter of, like, how much are they going to take from you, and how much are you going to allow them to take? It's like, we protect our homes, and with, our Second Amendment rights and expensive security systems. The question is, I mean, this is the cheapest security solution you could possibly get.
Right.
All those things are last resort situations. You got to stop them from having that map to your home and accessing your bank account information and all that stuff. I mean, again, most people don't use this sort of service because they don't even know it's an option.
So are you able to go in? Let's say your phone number or your email address is in the dark web, which I've never been to the dark web that I know of.
Tell what do you know about the dark web,
Not
Steve?
on purpose. No, I just hear that term a lot, but I really don't know what that means, except for it sounds like the black market, behind the scenes where they're selling information kind of thing. I just don't know where you go to. I might go look. I might be in the market for something.
Are you wanting Skip to tell you how to get there, Steve?
No.
Send me an email offline. We can talk about it.
If you're able to find that, okay, this information is there. I mean, how do you get that information away from them? Or is it just one of where you go, hey, they have your information. We need to change what you're doing with your information.
Yeah. So you're totally right. The first step is knowing what's out there, how long it's been exposed, and knowing what has been exposed, because otherwise you don't know how to attack the problem. The reality is too, is that even when we go in and our InfoSec team goes and takes a look at, your phone number and email address on our dark web databases to see what, the criminals are doing with it. That's exactly right. It is a market for them to target better, your information so that they can build up a profile of you. Our whole thing is, risk reduction. The thing is becoming a higher cost target for the scammers, right? We want to make sure that you are not even a bother because you're so far hidden and removed from what they could do. It's not even worth trying to go for you. I mean, this is a wolf among sheep sort of scenario where, you're part of our service and then you blend in, they don't even know that you're a wolf in sheep's clothing.
So, people get VPNs, virtual networks, right? They get the VPNs, and I just don't think you can be private enough. I just don't think you can.
Totally agree.
Just do everything there is possible. You work hard for your money. You want to protect your name. AI has gotten so sophisticated that, I mean, it won't be long before they can come up with a whole crime spree that you're guilty of, and they'll put video of you out there. I got a message just the other day. Steve, you were here. I got a message the other day, and we were about to travel to go somewhere to do a live show somewhere in the country. And it said, can't wait for tomorrow night. I would love to get a good steak. Does that sound good with you? And it was not from a number I recognized. In fact, it was a Canadian area code.
It came back to a landline.
Yeah, it was
somewhere.
a Canadian. It was a Canadian area code. Which again, I'm not answering that. I'm not responding with yes to that, because that goes back to what you were saying. And you think, man, there's so many people out there. I had a woman that showed up at a live show a couple of months ago who thought we'd been in a relationship for 2 months.
Ooh.
I've had people scammed for $8,000, $15,000, $25,000 because they thought that I was in trouble. Total strangers, and God bless them. I got the best fans in the world. Like, if you're willing to bail me out for 25 grand, and they send me a message and they're like, what do I do? This was obviously not you. I've got numerous friends that are in the country music industry or whatever. One woman showed up at Neil McCoy's bus and said, we're engaged. And I was like, well, I don't think his wife of 40 years, 30 years knows that, but
Congratulations.
It's scary how easily people get taken, but it's also equally scary, Skip, how sophisticated the scams are.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
It is. And so that's the point, is that why even have that information out there for them to build that for you in the first place? This is, the solution remains the same. And again, we've been looking at this for decades.
Yeah.
Solution remains the same. Take that information off of the public databases, know what are in the private databases, the dark web, and then react accordingly. I mean, look, yeah, we live in a connected world where we've all got our phones, we've all got to be online, we've all got to have online banking and stuff like that. So given the fact that we're in this world, make sure that you bulletproof yourself. Elon Musk uses a phone. Elon Musk has banks, a different relationship than we have with it, I'm sure.
apparently the vice president and apparently the Secretary of Defense and the vice president use a Signal app.
Sure do. Sure. I mean, look, that is that's one of the biggest cybersecurity incidents in modern American history.
Right.
Right. And what did we learn about that? Is that, these systems are fallible, and you need to make sure that you are protecting yourself everywhere, even to, that state level. But look, Elon Musk, you think he's got his information out there on public databases of all his houses? He doesn't. He's smarter than that. And that's why he uses, boutique systems of the kind of things that we offer, which we actually do offer as well. But, for the average person that's just trying to, keep their rights and keep their liberties, it's a no-brainer. And it is by far, one of the least expensive solutions that there is.
No doubt about it.
And far more effective.
What you said is a no-brainer. That's what I keep telling everybody. There's no reason why you aren't protected. So if you go over to patriot-protect.com, which is exactly what I did a long time ago, and I signed up. I got the individual plan, and then I went back in when you started offering the Patriot Protect Blackout, a one-time fee, and I went over there and did that. When I signed up, you guys sent me a message that said, give us a couple of days, basically, and we're going to work. Like, we're scouring the internet. We're scouring all of these places, dark web, deep web, the fourth dimension, somewhere in Orion's belt. You guys were on
we're
it.
out there.
I mean, I felt like you guys were scraping the ground there. I mean, it was literally scorched earth that you guys were doing on my behalf, and I felt a lot better about it. And let me tell you almost immediately what I discovered. The garbage emails that I was getting, a lot of the phishing stuff, the scam stuff, it went away. And there were things that on different accounts and things like that would pop up, but that stuff has diminished massively for me. When you guys went to work, what did you do?
I'll tell you exactly how it works. So our individual plan, what we do is we go out there, we identify based off of your information, which you provide to us on a very simple form, just takes a minute or two. And we go out and we match your profile on over 100 of these public databases. And so we find where you are on the internet, where you exist. And then what we do is we go through what's called an opt-out process. So we go to that individual company, of which there's hundreds, and say, we want you to take this user's information off permanently. And we do that immediately. This is what we call our search and destroy protocol. So we search for your information and we take it off. Now, here's the trick with these companies is that they will new companies like this are constantly popping up, and they constantly try to re-add your information to their database. So for as long as you're a user of ours, we will make sure that you are taken off of these public databases, and B, that you stay off of these public databases. And that is just an ongoing process. It's a horizon we work towards. It is never a destination we arrive at. We're in this for the long haul. I mean, we're going to be doing this till the day we die, basically, because there's just a constant barrage of scammers and information that are trying to exploit you. Don't let them take your nest egg. Yeah. You work your whole life to build this up. And it's not, yes, there's, like you were talking about, Chad, there's all the 2-factor authentication and text message authentication. It's only as good as the weak moment that you have when you slip up and something gets through, because they won't stop. And they are constantly, they're new scammers across the world are constantly being trained and being learned to take what they have, take what you have, which is what they want. And so we make sure that you get off of it and you stay off of it.
Yeah, that's it's a frightening thing. My friend Jesse Payton, that opens for me at live shows, he'll show you a video that someone created of his face and his voice, and they were sending it to people, and to the unsuspecting, not really paying attention eye, you would think Jesse Payton had sent you a video message. It's uncanny how accurate this AI generation was.
Look, we were working hard before AI, but man, let me tell you now, man. I mean, it's a nonstop grind trying to keep our users safe, and the best thing that we can do. There's no magic to it. We simply stay one step ahead of the scammers constantly.
Yeah.
Do y'all use AI in some of y'all's process? Do y'all have any of that helps y'all do y'all's job?
Not if we can avoid it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not if we can avoid it. That is one thing that's just one thing that we it's a line in the sand that we decided to draw some time ago. Because it's just, we don't know where it's coming from. We don't know who's using it. And so, in all of our processes that we handle, no. Why could we use that?
Yeah.
If you see a word that's written, we wrote it.
Yeah, I like that, and I feel much more secure with it because and again, we saw these people with the swatting situation that was happening a couple of weeks ago with various conservatives out there. Several of my dear friends got swatted. Some got swatted 2-3 times within a space of 24 to 36 hours. I mean, it's just insane what's going on.
And where'd they get the address?
Right.
I can tell you exactly where they got it, and it's readily available. Look, hey, I'm not just the president of the company. I'm a client. I use this. This is what we do.
Well, I can tell you, Skip, and I appreciate you so much, and I love Patriot Protect. I'll never be without it. I will never be without it.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate what you guys are doing, man, and y'all are the best in the game. Skip, thanks for joining us. I want everybody to go over to patriot-protect.com/Chad. You get that little discount built into it, but patriot-protect.com/Chad. Let Skip and the gang go to work on your behalf and get that whole deal fixed up for you. It's a no-brainer. That's what I keep saying. There's no reason why anyone should be left unprotected. Skip, y'all are doing a great job, man. Thank you for doing it.
Thanks for having me on, gents. Appreciate it. Look forward to coming back at some point.
Thank you, man. Bro, I don't know about you. I wanted to have Skip on. I know people's like, oh man, they're going to talk about this. They're a sponsor of the show. Oh no, I use them and have.
I've been talking about it, but I hadn't done it. But that kind of convinced me right there to go ahead and.
Oh yeah, you got to do it, dude. For a few bucks a month. I mean, you're insane not to do it this day and age. Because I'm telling you. Like I use a VPN for my phone. I have you want to talk about paranoid, dude? I got a Faraday bag from like a little ghost sleeve from a sponsor we used to have that if I want to just disappear and not be trackable, traceable,
you just wrap your phone in aluminum foil. Doesn't that do the same thing?
Not quite the same, but I'm telling you, I got that Faraday, that little leather pouch, man. I put my phone in there. Yeah, you can't track it. You can't trace it. And these days, I used to be one of those that just thought it happens to other people.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
you know what?
the credit card deal's what got me a couple of times. But as far as anything else, I think is pretty good. I used to didn't care because I had low credit score,
Yeah.
and I was in debt. But as that has lifted, credit scores went up, and the debts went down. Now I'm starting to think, now I got to protect myself better than I used to.
Linda Adams says, "You are other people." Shut up, Linda. I'm not other people. I'm me. I'm the main people, girl. You hush your mouth. Sherry said, "Is it really affordable?" Yeah, I think after the discounts and everything is built into it, you're talking about $10 a month. I think the regular price is like $14 a month, and even at that, I mean, come on, for under $20 a month, and you're fully protected the way that Skip just described. Insane not to do that. It just, and again, there were too many little weird things that were happening with me, and I said, okay, I don't have enough protection, so I jumped on with Patriot Protect, and sometimes your bank will happen, like I said with the the Red Box deal. And I will say my bank is pretty good on picking up on fraud, almost like annoyingly so. But you know what? It's like somebody that says, like, I've been stopped by security guards going into my own show in the back door, and they're like, "Man, we can't let you in." And I'm like, "Well, I'm the guy." And they're like, "Yeah, well." And then they got to verify it, and they're like, "Well, we're sorry." And I said, "We're sorry we did that." And I was like, "Don't be sorry you did that. That's literally your job." Right? So I'm happy for the fraud protection that's out there. And so it's a pain in the ass whenever you got to wait another 7 days to get a new debit card, and all of your subscriptions are going to die down and the whole thing. And I don't know, man, just the whole world's online. I don't walk in fear of it. Like, I mean, we use the Clear and the TSA Pre and all that stuff. They got retinal scans and fingerprints, and I've been arrested. They got fingerprints. Trust me, I've had surgery. They got my DNA. Oh, trust me, the world has my DNA. What's up? What's up? I'm glad Jesus saved me. What?
There's an old Randy Travis song from like in the early 2000s, and he says something about paying your bills on your home computer, and that was just so far out there to think that
buy their coffee beans already ground.
Yeah, that one. Look at us now.
Yeah.
Fast forward 35, how many every years? 25 years.
You might think it's disgraceful that they drank $3 wine, but a better class of loser suits me fine.
Yeah, so I mean, you think about that. That's just that quick, and here
You
we're all
say
doing
the
it.
grass is greener on the other side. Where I stand, I can't see grass at all.
This ain't a music show, child.
No, it's not if I'm singing it. Oh, Lord, I'm doing a music show next week, but I don't have a voice. You know why? Because I got a host for Dinesh D'Souza. I'm blaming Dinesh for my lack of voice right here.
Yeah. Oh,
And by their
it'll be fun.
coffee
Does that start tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I don't know what time Dinesh is. We pre-tape it, so I don't know. As soon as we're done with Dear America, we head over to Dinesh's studio, and we'll do that for an hour, and then we come right back, and we'll wing it tomorrow afternoon, dude.
Nice. Did they line your guest up for his show, or do you have
I
guests?
did. I did. My very special friend is going to join me. Someone you've probably never heard of tomorrow. Her name is Sarah Gonzalez, and she's going to join me.
Doesn't
And
ring a
we're
bell.
going to talk about Sarah Gonzalez. So I Googled Sarah yesterday because
Hey,
I could not. I texted
married.
her. Sarah
Oh.
is. I texted Sarah and Steven, her husband, because I needed some information from Sarah, and she. I give Sarah a hard time because I said she'll text me, and then she just throws her freaking phone across the room and forgets about it for an hour. And I'm like, Sarah, we were in the middle of a freaking conversation. Respond.
That upsets you because that happened to you a bit.
I can't stand it. If you're talking to me, stick with the phone until we say goodbye. Like, don't text me. My time is precious-ish, too. So I'm like, I'm texting Sarah. I was texting her about something, and then I needed something from her, and I text her, and so I'm like, this is going to take an hour. So I text Steven, and it took him a freaking 45 minutes to get back with me, too. And I'm like, what is wrong? What's wrong with you people in the Smith household? And so what I was looking for,
She knew you were doing something that you needed information for.
She knew in that moment I was doing something for her. Women, bro, but then it was her husband too. And so anyway, I Googled her because I was looking for her birthday. And I thought I knew when it was, but I needed to confirm it. So I Googled her because sometimes she doesn't have a wiki or nothing. But you know what? You can scroll down to the bottom and you can see what other people have been, what they've been searching for recently. You know how that works? Like if you Google right now, I'm going to do this. If you Google, oh my God, this is scary. Chad Prather, it's Prather, not Prather. If you say Chad Prather and you scroll down to the bottom, here is some of the other Google searches for Chad Prather. What is Chad Prather famous for? How much does it cost to book Chad Prather? Where did Chad Prather live? Who is Chad Prather's ex-wife? Chad Prather net worth. Chad Prather wife, Chad Prather CJ. You scroll down a little bit further, there's always there's more. Where does Chad Prather live? There is my ex-wife's name. So obviously, these are the things that people are searching for. Finally, you get down to
Disappointed my name ain't on there.
Finally, you get down to Chad Prather tour. Well, you just got to get some spicy stuff out there, and then you get. So anyway, I Googled Sarah Gonzalez, and you know what the top thing for her was? The most recent search? No, measurements. Her birthday wasn't on there, but it told us she was 5'3".
Well,
she is 5'3".
I knew there was some people back in the Blaze days that were all about her feet.
She's still on Wiki Feet. And you know the stupid thing about her is she's got a shoe fetish, and I'm pretty sure Sarah likes the fact that she's on freaking Wiki Feet. Blech! That is gross. That is gross.
Nasty.
Sarah knows too. Like she'll come out, she's like, "Do you like these shoes? I know you don't like feet, but do you like these shoes?" And I'm like, "Well, Sarah, by definition, half your foot's hanging out. So if I don't like feet, I don't like those shoes either."
So you like a good closed-toed shoe on a woman?
I prefer not to think about any of it, especially when you got a fat, bulbous big toe like Sarah Gonzalez.
Put some socks on.
Thick ones, like 2 pair of wool ones. I don't want to see those claws you pluck fish out of the stream with.
Cover them ankles up while you're at it.
Yeah, cankles and ankles and nasty. Oh, boy, howdy.
My feet don't.
Fix your damn feet. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Nice feet don't bother me, but I'm not out looking at people's feet on purpose.
Maybe I got a weird thing, dude, because, like, if somebody's feet are out there, I'm like, I want to, like, my first thing I do is, like, blow them up to see. Like, if you ever looked at Captain Marvel's feet, what's that chick that played Captain Marvel? What's her name?
No.
Captain Marvel. First of all, Captain Marvel was a man, but the Marvel universe had to get woke, and woman, what was her name? Brie Larson. I dare all of you to Google Brie Larson's feet. She was a former dancer, so she got some knotted up. She got some things going on, man. Brie, B-R-I-E. And actually,
they know it in the chat. They know it in the chat.
Yeah, if you do. So I got up this morning early, 4 o'clock to be successful. And I changed. Oh, boy, here we go, Mr. Producer. Come on, bring them up here. Let's see her. I guarantee you it'll auto-populate to her feet if you just type Brie Larson. You'd put her feet in there. I guarantee you it's a major deal. Whoa!
Wow.
Blow one of those up. Blow one of easy on the dark web, Mr. Producer. That looks like something you need to be on the VPN for right there. Get on that. Yeah, motherfucker right there.
What's that extra toe out there?
Man, there's a couple of them, bro. It's like one of them got split. Look at that. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Can you blow that up?
But if she was a dancer, they stuffed their toes down in the little pointy shoes.
What's that number 4th little piggy doing out there? just kind of hanging on for dear life, like a stripper with shoes that she borrowed from her other stripper friend that were half size too small, and she got them toes hanging off the edge of them platforms. Thing just swinging down there like a big old bossy toe, just dragging her around like another brain, just telling her where to go off the. Oh God!
Toenails look dead.
Well, they are dead, but she painted them anyway. I mean, that thing's a 1/4 inch thick.
70-year-old feet.
Lord Jesus. She's a cute girl. I mean, she woke, but Mr. Producer, while we're doing it, let's go this route. This is called the Chad Prather Show. We talk about what we want to talk about. Do LeBron James feet. Watch me now.
Does he have nice looking? I bet he has nice looking feet, doesn't he? Oh, he doesn't. All that running on a basketball court.
Mr. Producer, type it out. LeBron James feet. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Oh boy. Look at that. Whoa!
Oh. What has happened?
Whoa, what happened here? Man. Bron.
Yes. Yeah, he's hard on his feet too, though. That basketball, all they do is run up and down the court nonstop.
All right.
I think you have a foot fetish for ugly feet. You like to gross yourself out.
Shut your whole face mouth up. You know
everybody that has nasty feet. That's kind of odd.
Google Steven with a V, Steven Tyler, the lead singer of Aerosmith. Let's look at this. Pull up Steven Tyler. All right. And get a gander of these. No, Mr. Producer's being mean right now. But pop one of those suckers up there. Look at that guy, and he paints his toes too. Look at those. How do you?
Yeah, okay. You know what? I understand people have feet like that and everything, but wear some freaking shoes.
Yeah,
cover it up. Nobody wants to see it.
Come right there. Hit that one right there. He got painted toes right there with the little. Come down here to the deal, Mr. Producer. Oh my gosh! How did that happen?
They're hugging.
You can't keep your feet from falling.
His toes are hugging.
Boy, they're warm.
Their piggies are hanging on for dear life.
Man. Anyway. All right. Get you some Patriot Protect, patriot-protect.com, and use promo code Chad over there. Go to patriot-protect.com/Chad, and your feet won't look like this. They won't look like this. Man.
I need a pedicure. That reminds me.
Boy, you paint all you want, do not fix them feet. Got little chunks in my mouth, man.
Yeah, so does everybody in the chat.
Yeah, I'm just happy for those of you that are listening by way of audio. Like, we could have talked to you about all kind of stuff, but we chose not to. We won't talk about feet. Steve, where are we going this weekend, buddy?
We're going to start off and we're going to fly up to Hays, Kansas. Then we're going to run over there. Hays, Kansas still has a few tickets left.
Yeah, they do.
And where are we going? Sharon Springs or something like that. And that's sold out.
Yeah, it's sold out. It's going to be a good crowd over there.
Yeah,
we had a friend of mine, a mutual friend of ours, who used to be a Texas musician. He moved up to Kansas. He was going to come open for me in Hays, Kansas. And the venue owner said, "Who's coming to open for you?" And I told him, and he said, "No, he's not allowed here. He's not."
Really?
Yeah. Apparently they had some cross ways. And I was like, you know what? Easy peasy. So
yeah, that happens from time to time.
Come here, Biscuit. Come here, Biscuit. Come here, baby.
I don't think you've ever been banned from a venue that
no, that's not true. I have been banned. I am banned. I cannot go to the Houston Improv because apparently, according to them, I harassed a waitress back in 2017. Now, those of you who are out there listening to this show know me well enough to know that I've never harassed anyone. And apparently they said I harassed a waitress back in 2017. That did not happen. However, the GM for the, not Addison, the Houston Improv, same people, but Houston Improv is a radical woke lefty. So that ought to tell you everything you need to know. Because I called him out on it. I sent him an email. I said, "Why am I not allowed at the club?" And he goes, I don't got time for this. I was like, so you don't have an answer? You tell everybody else you got an answer, but you don't tell me an answer? Funny, I ran for office in the state of Texas, statewide, for 2 years, and nobody brought an accusation against me about anything like that. Stupid. Yeah. But you're going to tell me the Houston Comedy Club going to tell me that I can't come down there and, sure, whatever. Yeah. That's right, Linda Adams. That waitress was insulted. I didn't harass her. I promise you, back in 2017, I was so drunk and miserable in life, I didn't have the energy to try to harass somebody. I didn't touch myself, much less somebody else. Oh, my gosh. Can't get those Steven Tyler feet out of my face. All right, Party Foul Steve, anything you want to add? You need people to come join your Make Wellness team? Look at this.
Oh, yeah. Shoot, I almost forgot. Yeah, come over. Join mine, not yours. You killed it this last month.
I did. Well, you know what? I said I started that deal to help other people. There at the end of the night, I moved $12,000 of my own sales around.
That jumped up from 10,000. Or you said 10,000.
No, well,
earlier.
I mean, I went to bed before midnight, but by the time midnight had happened, I had people working on that. We moved $12,000 in sales underneath other people who had needs. And so people woke up with promotions going, what happened? And I was like, we did it. We took care of you. You did a great job.
That's a good deal. Yeah.
We're there helping other people with Make Wellness. You can find it in Steve's link tree. Get on his team.
Yeah, get on there. Get over to partyfoulsteve.com. You get your t-shirt. Getting those gone. Prather Tees. Get over there. Get your t-shirt.
Look at this dog.
T-shirt. We got t-shirts everywhere. We ought to really get back in the t-shirt business.
Yeah, we probably should.
We kind of been.
People don't want t-shirts from us, man.
Yeah, no. COVID was good to us t-shirt days.
People don't. I was working with so many people. People just don't want t-shirts from us anyway.
Yeah.
This is good television we're doing right here, man. This is the kind of thing right here Sarah Gonzalez would say. Yeah, real good television, Chad. All right, guys. I'm going to be back for the Dear America show. Y'all hang tight. Hot Seat Todd's coming. You guys will get educated on that. He's got plenty of stuff to talk to you about. And then Megan Moo will be on tonight. Brianna Morello as well. The Bring the Fire Comes with Fire. Fire Boys will be out here as well. And there's all kind of stuff going on. Let's look at some super chats real quick.
Oh, yeah.
MXY.
I got those.
859. I got it last week. I haven't signed up my husband yet, but did look for him on Google and couldn't find him or myself. Love it. Thanks, Chad. That's good. That's good.
That is good. That's good report.
I mean, my deal is I want to be findable, but I want the right kind of findable.
Yeah, you just want to find your website and your store.
Yeah, I mean, I have had times. I have had times where look at this dog. I've had times where we went out on my birthday on the front porch and there was stuff there for me. I don't want that. I don't.
Yeah, I've kind of got I've had that problem over the years with my store because I was so small that it just has my home address as a return address on it, and so my home address has always been out there.
Yeah,
and you can Google search it and find it quick and easy.
Any other super chats out there? Any other? No, that's it. That's what we're worth. $5, baby.
That was $10. That was a $10 super chat.
$10.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, $10. That's why I don't sell many T-shirts anymore because people aren't interested. I let them buy from these young whippersnappers like Hot Seat Todd and Maggie Moo, and we got redpillchad.com and we got prathertees.com. I'm gonna jump off here. I gotta go. I got stuff to do. You know what it is? I might take a nap. I love you. It's Party Foul Steve and I had some fried chicken for lunch. It was so good, man. It was so good. Love that chicken from Popeyes. We had it, baby. We had it. All right, go to watchchad.com for all the fun stuff is. Check it out. You can hit the stores, but go over to where podcasts are offered. That's where the audio is. And leave us a rating and review. 5 stars is what we deserve. And you can leave us whatever kind of review you want. Go to prathertees.com, watchchad.com. You can sign up and do the Make Wellness stuff with us, man. We're creating 1,000-airs. 100-airs right now, day in and day out. Oh, it's a great time to be alive, folks. You know what? It doesn't matter how bad the times are. When you're a good person, it's going to be okay. God loves you, and I do too. We'll talk to you later on. See you tomorrow morning. Bye.